What is going on, guys? Welcome to your 20th Java game development tutorial, and in this tutorial we're going to be working in our Bucky class. So right now we have an animation class. It's all done, I promise, not touching it again. We have our screen manager class to manage our screen, and now we have our Bucky class with our main method in it. Yours is probably named something different because your name isn't Bucky. Now I already filled in some stuff for you to not waste any time. It's pretty much just our main method. I created an object for this class and called the run method, which we are going to be building later. So now let's go ahead and outside your main method. Again, don't forget you need to be outside your main method but inside your Bucky class still. Let's go ahead and do some things. Okay, take a breath. First we're going to create three objects. Animation A, because remember I had an animation class, so we're going to create an object after we change this to private to access our animation class. Done. Private screen manager S, so now we can access the methods in our screen manager. This is a little too easy. Private image BG, and what this is going to do is going to be our background image, or that gradient that I had from the last tutorials. I didn't change it. I kept it since it was so awesome. So now after this, the only thing we really need is a list of display modes. Now I'm going to give it 6 default display modes, and what it's going to do is take those modes and match them up against the graphic card modes, and when it finds one that matches, it's going to take it out and it's going to use that one. So let's go ahead and put private static final display mode. We'll name it modes 1 or something like that, and it's going to be an array. I call lists an array the same thing, just get used to it. The first element in the array is going to be our first display mode. New display mode, and the settings for this one are going to be 800 by 600, 32 bits, and 0. So let's go ahead and copy this, and let's go ahead and duplicate it 2 more times. Same resolution, but the bit depth is going to be 24 and 16. Not 26, 16. So now we need to put commas in there instead of colons, because that is just silly. And actually we can put a semicolon down here. And now let's do this for 3 more display modes. So these are all going to be 640 by 480, and I'm doing these because these are common display modes. And just copy this 2 more times, and you just can't like make your own custom display modes since it's going to be comparing it against a graphics card. You usually want to put in ones that are rather common. So now we have this array called modes, and it stores 6 very common display modes. So at least one of these should match up against your graphics card, and when this mode matches up against your graphics card, that's going to be the display mode that's going to be used when they're playing the game. And you're saying, alright, what if all of these match up? Well, then it's just going to take the first one that matches up. So now that we have pretty much 3 variables in an array of display modes, let's tighten that up a little bit, we can move on to the next part of our tutorial. And the first thing we want to do is build a method that loads images and adds scenes to our movie. So load images and add scenes. And I only spelled 2 things wrong, not bad. Load and scenes, just like that. So we'll go public void load images, not going to take any parameters, and once I scroll down, we're going to set that background equal to new image icon, and then again we put the what's called directory or file path, and mine was in C, and it was in a folder called test, and it was called, I think it was called back.jpg. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. And now we just have to get the image from that file, and now we need the 2 other ones, which are my face with my eyes open and my face with my eyes closed. So image face 1 equals new F that, let's just copy this crap. Bam. And just change this to face1.ping. Looks good to me. Looks good to you? Good. And then copy this. And face2 equals face2.ping. Pretty cool how I did that, huh? So now we loaded all these images into variables. So now we can go ahead and add them in our animation. So let's go ahead and create an animation object, new animation. So now we can use methods from the animation class, and the two things we want to do is add scene, and this is going to be the first scene we want to add is face1 for 250 milliseconds, and then after that we want to add one more scene, copy face2 for 250 milliseconds. And we don't need to add our background because our background is going to stay static. These scenes are going to be the only thing that's changing on it. So that's why we needed to add a new animation. Again, we could add the background in our animation, but I mean, it would just take up too much space, and we're just going to have it stay still and add these scenes because that's what's going to be changing. So for now, in the next tutorial, we're going to be building our run method and also maybe our movie loop if we have time. But thank you guys for watching. That's it for this tutorial. At least 2 more tutorials, and then we're going to be finally done with this. And we're going to be finally building an animation that doesn't have flicker, and we're going to use for the rest of our game programming. So again, one last time, thank you. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next tutorial.